Do you ever just feel like you totally chose the wrong day to do this exercise video on? It is wet, windy as you can hear. We're going to give it a shot though. Cropwell's looking rather messy. Sienna's screaming in the background. You guys won't hear it because I will have muted the sound in the background. Otherwise all you'll get is wind noises. But we've got to keep here and we're going to do some walk exercises. Good luck. Let's hope it doesn't rain. Here we go. So I'm doing a whole walk session with Coop today because he's not up to full fitness yet. And I wanted to do a little bit of schooling with him, but I didn't want to be pushing him when he's not quite ready for it. So a whole session and walk is actually perfect for him. You might be on a young horse that's not quite ready to step up. You might be injured. Your horse might be coming back from injury. There's loads of reasons why doing a session and walk is good. And it really is beneficial for your horse. You will get just as much out of it. Also, walk is very much a neglected pace, I think. I'm certainly bad for not putting in the same amount of sort of work into the walk as I would the trot and the canter. So there's lots of good reasons why these exercises are going to help. Once you've let your horse have a bit of a stretch, walk around the arena, take in its surroundings, it's time to get started. First up is a simple one, and it is just riding your corners. So riding in your corners in walk means that you can really work on making sure that the horse goes into it properly, that they have the right bend, that they have that suppleness through their body, and also that they start to take that little bit of weight behind. So hopefully the inside hind leg should come through and underneath the horse. So really good exercise to practice in walk. So riding your corners correctly is going to really help for these next exercises, which is lateral work. So there is a whole range of things you can do in walk, from shoulder in, leg yield, haunches in, haunches out, half pass. You can really mix it up. And what's great is this is going to work on your horse's suppleness, their balance, muscle development, connection, self-carriage, straightness, the list goes on. And what's so great about doing it in walk is if you've got a young horse, then it's a nice way to introduce it to them. If you've got an older horse, like in my case, Corporal's 21 and been out of work for quite a few months, so he's quite stiff, and you can see in these clips, you know, he's finding it even just doing it in walk quite tricky at times. So it's a great way to start building that muscle back up again, getting the suppleness back without pressurizing them or making them have to do it in trot, which is a little bit harder and more collection. The next exercise is another simple one, and it's simply transitions. Now, we all know transitions are very important, and simply asking your horse to come into a nice square halt with a soft contact and a relaxed frame is really important to practice. So you can get away with doing loads of walk to halt transitions round your arena, just getting your horse to listen and focus on you. Next up is doing some little baby quarter and half pirouettes. So again, something maybe more suited for the older horse or more experienced horse, but these can be great for just getting your horse to sit a little bit more on the hind quarters and working on that suppleness again. A really good little exercise. The next exercise is a bit of a mix and match of dressage test walks. So medium walk, long rein walk, extended walk and collected walk. And what's great is you can go around your arena or while you're out hacking and mix them up. So you might go from a collected walk into a long rein walk, back up to a collected walk, into extended walk, and so on. And what's great about this is you really get the horse listening to you, focused on your aids, hopefully in front of the leg, and it's something we really need to practice. It's going to be great for when you get back out doing those dressage tests. As you can see, it's not Corporal's highlight. He especially struggles with the medium walk, but that's why we've got to keep practicing. Of course, we had to add some pole work exercises in. So this first exercise, firstly I should say, is that the striding is not brilliant within these poles, mainly because the wind kept blowing the poles all over the place, and Corporal is a bit of a lazy bum, and he does stand and kick on the poles. He never used to, but as he's got older, he's got a little lazy. So he knocks the poles about all the time. So it's a good idea to get somebody to be out in the arena with you so they can keep sort of putting the poles back in place. I didn't have anyone around, so in the end I just left Corporal to it, and he sort of kicked them out of place, and then they kind of kicked them back into place. So if you're thinking, gosh, the striding looks really weird, that would be why. So you can set out kind of 3 or 4 poles, or however many poles you want to, actually on a bit of a curve, and I've done it on like a bit of a 15-meter circle. You could go bigger. And the great thing about this exercise is, and you can see I'm doing it now, is you can either ride the circle or you can do little half 10-meter circles, and that S bend change is really good for the suppleness and sort of getting the horse to really bend around your inside leg. It's just a really nice exercise to do with them. The turn on the poles is really good for getting them to kind of lift and step under themselves nicely. And as I've always said, I'm like a talking parrot, that, you know, doing pole work in walk is really beneficial for the horse, because when they're in trot, they sort of just naturally spring off the ground, and it actually doesn't take that much effort for them to do the poles, whereas in walk, they have to actually physically lift their feet up and over. So it's really good for them to do poles in walk. So here I can keep mixing it up. I can either do it on the circle, or I can do like a little S or a figure of 8, whatever works best, but it's a nice exercise to do with them. So this is the last exercise, which we're not going to manage to do because the heavens have opened again and the wind is knocking the poles off constantly. So we're just going to call it a day. But some raised walk poles are really, really good for all horses, all abilities. It starts really getting to think about picking their feet up. I'm going to go inside because it's not going to stop raining, and Bob's had enough.